Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the C Morning Show. We're now in the final hour of our program, which is leading us to our second discussion of the morning. And as we know, Indonesia continues to implement sustainable development with the aim of achieving the Golden Indonesia 2045 vision. One such measure is to further develop the concept of the green economy. Now, this itself requires the role of many different elements and obviously includes the youth.
Indeed, Paul. Now, the youth have an important role in developing the green economy in Indonesia, such as reducing the negative impacts of climate change. Therefore, the youth must start taking positive steps to maximize their role in developing the green economy.
And speaking of youth, it wouldn't be right if we didn't have some youth
with
us here in the studio. So to talk more about green economy development here in Indonesia, we have Green Economy Youth Organization, or GEO, Vice Presidents Maulana Randi and Qisthan Ghazi. Now, GEO itself is part of an organization called YOUNGO, which is the official youth constituency of the UN Framework on Climate Change Conference, or UNFCCC. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here today.
Good morning, guys. Yes.
Okay, so let's get started a little bit by asking your thoughts about Indonesia's transformation as it stands regarding our sustainable green economy.
Actually, in my opinion, Indonesia is facing a dilemma because we are a developing country, right? But we have an ambition, Indonesia Mas 2045, which we aim to be a developed country.
Yeah.
So we need more robust growth in our economy, but at the same time, we're facing some climate crisis. So it will be challenging for us about green economy transition itself, how we can ensure the growth that we will make, but also not impact on social and environmentally. And the government already take some action plans, like in COP, and also in GEO, we also taking part in Conference of Youth, which is like the COP of youth. So I think we already in the right path, but we need more progressive action towards the green economy.
I think I know what you mean. It's because every time we talk about growing the economy, unfortunately, it's always a negative impact. For the most part, we talk about industries, we talk about developing. It's always kind of, well, you grow the economy, but it always has a negative impact on climate.
Definitely, and if you're talking about, the summits that you've mentioned before, like the COPs and whatnot, but we're actually the generation of us, Paul and I, or just more of the talk, but the action has to come from you. So what is the role of the youth, especially in supporting the creation of a green economy, Randy?
I think in today's world, mainly youth act as a bridge between the policymaker, maybe government and business actor, with communities and general public. I think youth have the ability to be the translator of language gap between them. I think youth can also absorb the aspiration from the general public, community, and connect them towards the climate, the policymaker. I think in GEO, we also usually hold the public education, where our event become kind of a bridge between general public can ask directly towards the policymaker. I think the last one is between the Ministry of Environment, that they can directly discuss and answer the question regarding green economy and their implementation from the policymaker. I think there is other example. I think youth can be the actor of the implementation of green economy as well.
Yes.
I think one of the main startup, the popular one is Carbon Epic from Kabimo. I think it shows that youth have the ability to be the actor, that show them that we can show the world that we can implement, we can show that there is a sustainable practice that can be the potential that connect between the choice between economic and environmental as well.
Walking the talk.
Yeah, and first of all, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you guys?
Myself is 20.
Okay.
And how old are you?
22.
Okay, so both of you are considered right in the heart of this youth age.
Right.
And we do know that in this past election itself, a majority of the voters were voting for the very first time. We know that the youth in Indonesia is growing. How integral do you think the youth's role is in the support of the green economy here in Indonesia? And do you feel like, a lot of times we've seen at various COP events and other environmental events where the youth are now being heard, but how much are you being heard?
I think how much we are being heard are, I think in COI we have global youth statement, where in the COI we have that a special session where the global youth statement are being what kind of situation where are being voiced in the front of the world delegates of COP. And I think lots of the point in global statement actually becoming a point to in global stock action of the output of the COP as well. So I think yes, I think in this today world there is a word for youth. I think mostly in the global stage.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like in the early times it was just like, well, we need to have youth there. Youth can
Just
make their
to be,
statements.
yes.
But I feel nowadays their voices are being heard a lot more.
Yeah.
And do you feel that it's happening more as well here in Indonesia?
Yes.
Qisthan?
I think we already also engage in local conference of youth, which we hold like a formal conference, which the output that we will deliver it to the regional conference of youth, and from the regional conference of youth, we will also deliver it in COI, which is that will be included in GYS or Global Youth Statement that will be delivered to the global leaders. So I think in Indonesia also, GEO already take initiative to host this event, local conference of youth, that it means we as youth, we have a key role to deliver our voice about climate to the global leaders.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like in Indonesia here we rely so much on the youth because there's just such a growing
Yes,
number.
and we've seen a lot of not only organization but NGOs also coming from the youth are doing very well and doing a lot for the environment. And that said, in that regards also, you as a part of the youth, how do you guys kind of translate what is happening right now to your own peers? Because it seems that it's more easier for us adults talking to you, but when you have to share it, what is on the ground, what is happening right now to your own peers, sometimes it's very difficult, don't you think?
I think from you, we usually use social media. I think social media is a great media for to raising awareness. I think between peers. I think from our generation is more social media active. So we in Green Economy Migration from our social media we are trying to make content that interesting and educating for our generation. That so we can also raising awareness among our peers. Maybe when we're talking about the future of green jobs, that usually in our age we're talking about more about career. So we talking about this is a part of future green job that may be more financially more sustainable. That can be so we can actually how can I say determining the choice to be made.
Because it's a group work, right? It's not only one single-handed. It takes a collective efforts.
I believe so too. And earlier I mentioned that maybe a few years ago the youth's voice were there, but it wasn't being heard as much, and that would have been a big challenge. But nowadays, what would be some of the biggest challenges that you guys are facing these days?
I think we face so many challenges actually. Like we youth, like who are us? Like we are not professional. We are not yet professional. But how we make everyone believe to us.
That's
and
right.
how we make government trust to us.
Right.
So I think
like what's your credibility, right?
yeah,
Like what's
we
your
don't
background?
have any credibility, right?
Exactly.
So that's why we want to prove to everyone that we youth, yes, we not yet to become professional, but we can make you all trust to us. So we make some like public discussion, and also we do some hearings to some ministries, because we want everyone know what we feel, what we really want to struggle, what is climate, what is green economy is about, because it will affect you guys. So we use some words that will everyone will understand us. Like, how about if next generation suffer from these current policies? So that's all. We do some hearings to some ministries. We talk about the recommendation policies itself. So I think the most challenging is how about everyone trust to us.
Right. And what has the response been like when you have to have these like conversations with ministries and people of that sort?
I think usually because green economy is a serious issue that
Very much.
usually youth doesn't take that serious issue, serious role in the, I think, in global world. So usually there is a mix, but usually they are welcome because I think a lot of institutions actually need the fresh perspective from youth to actually to understand the challenge and understand the future, because we as a youth have a different style, I think.
Different perspective,
Different
too, I
perspective,
think, right?
style, different style of communication too, that we can also bring to the table, I think, in the conference, in the I think, in discussion with government, I think.
Agree.
And they're thinking outside of the box, too.
The future's not in our hands, it's in their hands. It's their future. Right?
Even without credibility, you are in the productive age right now. So again, the future is now for you. So this is your time, by the way. In regards to that, though, your organization will attend the Regional Conference of the Youth held by Yongo, the official youth constituency of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in the near future. So what role will GAYO play in the event, and what will be the main discussion topics, and where will it be?
Yes, a regional conference of youth will be held in Sri Lanka this year. GAYO will be main collaborator that will assisting the global climate network from the Sri Lanka host, together with numerous other climate organizations. In Sri Lanka, we will be connecting 150 delegates from 60 countries of Asia Pacific region, where we will be discussing about the pressing climate issue and climate change issue. I think GAYO, mainly as main collaborator, will be assisting in the, we are recommending concept or substance of the conference. We are also providing personal support. We are also assisting in connecting the Asia Pacific with the relevant institution in Indonesia, I think. And mainly the issue in the regional conference of youth in Asia Pacific will generally address the sustainable development and the climate change issue. But for the specific theme, it's still being discussed and will be announced later on. But I think from Indonesia perspective specifically, we are from the local conference of Indonesia. We will be pressing about 4 issues, which is clean water accessibility, energy transition, sustainable agriculture, and lastly about circular economy. That we see that these 4 issues are the pressing issue that will need to be addressed for the future of implementation of green economy in Indonesia.
Yeah, and I think all 4 of those issues are equally important when it comes to how relatable it is for us living here in Indonesia, because every country has its own different challenges when it comes to climate change as well. Now, I want to get maybe both your thoughts on this. What are your hopes when it comes to our transition towards Indonesia's green economy? I mean, we are aiming for, as you mentioned, Indonesia Emas or a Golden Indonesia 2045. Seems like a long time away, almost 20 years, but it really isn't. It creeps up on you fast. And do you think it is achievable by that time? Perhaps start with you, Qisthan.
Okay. So I think Indonesia Emas 2045 is very short. It just only count of times. I think I wish green economy policies in Indonesia, it can become more progressive. Like our voice as youth can be more heard. And also don't forget about the climate policies that can be beneficial for all people, protecting all indigenous people. That we don't only talk about economic growth, but also the climate itself as part of the economy. So I hope the policy itself will be more progressive and more youth inclusive.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Well said.
I think one of point of Qisthan is I kind of agree too. I think it must be just. I think it must be just because the transition toward the green economy will be hard, and I think we hope that there will be win or lose situation. I hope it will be win-win solution for all of them. I think Qisthan also said for indigenous people to need to be addressed too. I think, but lastly, I think when you talk about green economy, it's a whole system. I think we as a person needs to, working toward that progress as well. We as a person, I think as individual, need to make a little sacrifice. I think if people like I said, maybe using public transportation, using sustainable product, I think it will be a compounding effort. I think it's also, because it's a world system, it needs also come from the individual itself. So I think every little sacrifice is matter and will be a compounding effect in the future.
Every little bit helps. Sometimes, we have that mindset back in the day, like, oh, what's the point of me doing it? There's just so much out there. But if everyone has that same mindset, nothing is ever going to change.
You were doing it also.
Just little by little, but then also that kind of behavior transfers to my little kids.
That's right.
And my little kids
it goes to the next generation.
About what waste is and what climate change is, and that's the future generation.
Yeah, and also what Qisthan said, not only we focus on economic growth, but also the climate. Sometimes, especially for us, it's always about the economic growth, the growth, exactly, but we have to think about the environment too.
And for both of you as representatives of our youth, I feel like our future is in very good
safe.
hands. Yeah, thank you guys so much for doing
Thank you very much, Randin. Thank you, Qisthan.
All right, we're going to take a short break here on the program, but we have more to come here on the C Morning Show, so stay tuned with us. We'll be right back after this.